Sorry about that.
Oh, welcome everybody to the Bluegrass Iracing Truck Series. You're back here on a wonderful Monday night here at Richmond Speedway. I have a lot of drivers here tonight, 38 to be exact. You have a lot of drivers out here ready for some short track racing. We got 30 seconds left. Watching these drivers get their last few laps of practice in at the moment. It'll be awesome race. We're gonna really quickly go over and take a look at our point standings. Daniel Cunningham, our leader right now, you see 334 points with a win. That means he's locked in. Peyton Hubbard right now in second, but he has 2 wins, also locked in. Other drivers locked in are Alex Healy, John Mollahan is locked in, Kenneth McCullough Jr. is locked in. Everyone else still up for grabs at the moment. But if you're one of the drivers in the top 6 right now, you're not in on points, you should be pretty good, which that includes Barrett Morton, Wes Wiggin, drivers out there. But that is our points at the moment. Go back here. Ready for some qualifying. Time up on the clock, and we'll wait till our first driver goes out. And our first driver is going to be John Mollahan. That 02 machine. First driver out. A lot of drivers currently exiting the pits right now, but John Mollahan the first of those. Justin Winters on track. Jeremy Vaughn also on track. Go with John Mollahan here. Now, Richmond's a very fun track. Pretty banked. It's very hard to describe this track and what it's like. Both corners look very similar, but that is far from it. Both corners are very different lines. John Mollahan off of turn 4. He's going to clock in the first lap of 22.3. Fastest lap in practice, 21.9. The Peyton Hubbard, Justin Winters, 21.97. Solid lap from that 5 machine. This week, the truck series aligned with the official races, so some of these guys have had a little bit more practice than normal. John Mollahan clocks in on his second lap, just a few tenths slower than Justin Winters, and I would say that your second lap is going to be the faster lap here. I did a lot of practice here, won a Richmond truck race this morning, and I can tell you that you really want to drive it into turn 1 kind of deep, but you want to brake while letting the car go straight into the corner. And you slowly just kind of let it go to the bottom of the track-ish, and you almost, it's not really an arc, but you just turn kind of left in the middle of the corner and allows you to get a fast but clean exit. Turn 3 and 4 is more of a flat entry. Definitely a little bit harder to get in. You see Daniel Cunningham's going to take over that top spot in that 08 machine. Going to spin it on his second lap. We'll watch here with Billy Bowerman, and I'll show you what I mean here. Hopefully he'll put in another lap after this, but you can kind of see a little bit of a straighter entry, a little bit wider in turn 3 and 4 it feels like, but you really want to hug the bottom. But turn 1 and 2 is definitely a little bit more versatile with the different lines. And you can see right there, he turns in a little bit earlier than you kind of want, but that's a pretty good tire saving strategy. The only problem is that you'll get high off of exit just like he did right there. Peyton Hubbard's out on track. He was our fastest in practice. Daniel Cunningham, our fastest so far, with 21.95. You can see, we'll watch Peyton and see if he goes second lap or first lap. And let's see how Peyton does it. You can see he drives it much straighter, but this looks like it's going to be he's going to wait to run that fast lap on his second lap. David Brackett puts it in P6. Joe Zallo, P5. So Peyton Hubbard is definitely going to go with the second lap strategy. And you can see he's on that top lane trying to generate as much momentum as he can. We'll see how straight he goes into the corner here And yeah, he definitely goes a lot straighter, and you're going to see him get to center, then he's going to arc it down to the yellow line. Wasn't quite able to get there. Track's a little warm. You can see it's a little slick. In this corner, again, you kind of want to just get it down to that yellow line, and he does not do a great job of getting it there, but still able to keep the momentum, gets the car slowed down, and I bet this will be a pretty quick lap. And he's going to put it P3. So Daniel Cunningham and Justin Winters are able to go ahead of Peyton Hubbard. Not a bad lap, but again, he missed the bottom in 3 and 4, and that's all it costs. It's all about being smooth. Brian Terry on track right now in this 13 machine. Love going on board with some of these guys sometimes. You can really see what they're running. Rack and Stephen Page puts it P2, just short. Daniel Cunningham, he read the 21.973 compared to Daniel Cunningham's 9.54. And look at Jim Kaufman's going to put it pretty close too. He's going to put it just ahead of John Mollahan. David Sheets on track. 5 minutes left of qualifying, and about half the field has put in a lap so far. See if anybody else decides to come out. Jeremiah Hobbs, one of those drivers that's out here. I'm going to guess that's Lockbowie, Colorado. Hope I pronounced that right, Jeremiah. Michael Robinson, P8, in that 8 car. Jeremiah Hobbs goes P11. Ronnie Shirk, P18. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoy the stream tonight. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It does a lot here for us in the Bluegrass community, so make sure that you hit that thumbs up button, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. Bobby Hall Jr. saying good luck to his fellow drivers. Daniel Worthington, his teammate, is out on track right now. You see him really low against that yellow line. That's about a really good 3 and 4 there for Daniel Worthington. That's exactly what you want to do. That 113 machine is going to put it in P14. John Kaiser out on check. Chad Ross also out on track. Eric Park. All 3 of those guys on track. We're watching John Kaiser, and Sean Kaiser kind of had a good arc there. And that's how you're going to be able to run these fast laps. And you can see really high, though, in 3 and 4. Able to get it back down to the bottom a little bit. But you lose a lot of speed. Don't get it down to the bottom. And Sean Kaiser's going to move into that 12th position. Chad Ross clocks in P24. Looks going second lap. See how he does it. Yeah, pretty good arc there for that 83 machine. Turn 1 looked pretty good. A little squirrely there off of exit, though. That might lose him some time. We'll see where this 83 clocks in at. Daniel Cunningham still our fastest truck with that 21.95. Sean Kaiser up to 9th. Chad Ross up to 7th. Kenneth McCullough Jr., he's been fast. Alex Healy's going to move into that 11th place position. You can see him kind of with that big arc. Tried to, just not able to get that truck down to where he wanted to be at. Wes Wiggins going to spin into 18th. Kenneth McCullough Jr. will be watching this 03 machine. He puts down good laps weekly. Kenneth McCullough gonna go P15 with that first lap. Alex Healy, P8. Cody Anderson's out on track right now in that P28 position, but he's looking for a second lap heater here. See him really using all the track he can. Kenneth McCullough Jr. goes P7. Cody Anderson going to clock in P23. Not the qualifying session that 42 wanted. Been really quick of lately, but not a good lap for that 42 car. He's going to have a lot of cars to pass. Bobby Hall Jr. looking for a second lap, quick lap here. See what he's able to do. Bobby Hall Jr. P4. That 94 machine, definitely really quick. We'll be watching Lucas Lyons too. He put it P29 first lap, looking to make a big gain here. This 25 machine, again, that second lap is what you want. Not able to get to the bottom, but it's okay. You still have a lot of momentum if you can get to the throttle early enough. Lucas Lyons Go P16, Travis Twitty P29 in the 29. Christopher McCullough's out on track. He's going second lap heater too. Not able to get to the bottom though. Means that he overdrove the entry a tiny bit. We'll watch 3 and 4 here. Looks pretty decent, about where you want to be. We'll see. And he got, big loose there for that 04. There's going to be a lot of time lost. But he's still going to put it P5. Man, he probably could have maybe squeezed an extra 10th out of that car. But he was sideways off turn 4. Bentley McFarland's out on track. 50 seconds left. Probably about where you want to be at to put in your final laps. Watch this 14 machine. See where he can put it. A bit loose there out of the corner. Really quickly. We'll watch this and then we're going to go ahead. Billy McFarland and go P34 with that lap. So we'll be right back and we'll get ready here for the grid. All right, we are back here in the Bluegrass Iracing series. Really quickly, before we start this race today, we'll thank our friends over at Red Rocket Building and Barbecue, Butt Kicker, and Bluegrass Power Washing. Thanks to all our sponsors for making this happen for us. We're excited for a good race here. And 36 drivers, it looked like, are in this field tonight. So we got a lot of drivers, a lot of opportunity. And we are going to go through our grid here tonight. Daniel Cunningham on our pole tonight. Stephen Page going to be starting P2. Justin Winters P3. Bobby All Jr. 4th. 5th's going to go to Christopher McCullough. 6th, Peyton Hubbard. 7th's going to go to Michael Robinson. 8th's going to go to Jim Kaufman. 9th is Kenneth McCullough Jr. Chad Ross going to qualify P10 tonight. Alex Healy 11th, and John Mollahan going to be in that P12 position. A little bit further down the line, P13, Dustin Ryan settles. Sean Kaiser in that 14th position. 15th is going to go to Jeremy Vaughn. 16th, Joe Zalo. Lucas Lyons, 17th. Jeremiah Hobbs, 18th. David Bragan, 19th. Billy Bowerman, 20th. Daniel Worthington, 21st. Wes Wiggin, 22nd. David Sheets, 23rd. Thomas Hall, 24th. 25th is going to go to Dakota Shepard, and Cody Anderson going to be starting P26 tonight. And looking back here, P27 is going to go to Carlton Charles. Ronnie Shirk, 28th. Derek Puckett, 29th. Josh Clemens, 30th. Travis Sweetie, 31st. Brian Terry, 32nd. Casey Ryback, 33rd. Billy McFarland, 34th. Eric Parks going to go 35th tonight. Ron Morris Jr., 36th. And Colbert, 37th. And Michael Cole, 38th. That will be our starting lineup tonight here in the Bluegrass Iracing Truck Series. We're in for a show tonight. You can see cars going into their formation lap here as we get ready for some good racing here at Richmond. You can see the cars 2x2. So what we're going to expect to see tonight is that, again, you kind of want to be on that bottom, but the middle-ish lane will work too. Right above where that kind of the first dash is, if you're on the outside of another car, you can really pinch them down to the bottom. And it really works out well. So we're gonna see a lot of drivers really trying to pinch the bottom driver down there, but you just have more momentum on that bottom side if you can get there in entry. If we have any wrecks tonight, turn 1, you'll usually see cars kind of go into the corner and slide up. And opposed to turn 3, where you'll usually see cars really try to drive it in, and one car may try to block their entry, cut it off a little bit. So we'll be watching the entries of the corners. Usually that's where we have issues, but we expect these guys to be pretty chill here these first few laps. 125 laps tonight in this race. So got a pretty good length race here. Richmond stage break is going to be on lap 40 tonight. These drivers have 4 sets of tires, so they'll probably take their first set at lap 40 and then keep going on from there. We'll see what the fuel mileage is. But you can see our trucks are getting ready to roll to the start-finish line into our Geico restart zone as the Bluegrass Iracing Truck Series comes around 3 and 4. There you see the Geico restart zone.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out. We are underway here in the Bluegrass Iracing Truck Series. See Daniel Cunningham, our leader, side by side for second. Justin Winters with a great start in that 5 machine. He gets around Stephen Page. Justin Winters going to get into solo second, but Stephen Page is going to make that outside work. No give up in that machine just yet. And you can see him on that outside, able to get to run down the backstretch. And now he's on top out there, and right behind them you see Justin Winters attacked here from Bobby Hall Jr., Christopher McCullough Jr. You see Peyton Hubbard in that 51 machine. We'll be watching him tonight. He's going to be quick. See, oh, we got one car around. That's Jeremiah Hobbs.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
And it looks like everyone's going to be able to avoid him. First caution here on lap 2. 10 machine went around. So let's go see what brings out our first caution tonight. It looked like he might have just gotten a little loose. We'll take a look here and see what happened. But we'll watch. And one thing about these trucks is that early in the run, so usually about the first, first 3 or so laps, this truck is actually going to be pretty free off of exit if you run too low. And you can see him right here. He's going to get back to this throttle, and already right there you see the rear end starting to step out on that 10 machine. Just got underneath Joe Zalo there and is really trying to push it, and it just comes around on him. Look at Dustin Reinstedel, does a great job of avoiding that wreck, able to get up to the wall. He locks the brakes up, keeps it out of the inside wall. So Jeremiah Hobbs bring out our first caution. See him on pit road. Not sure if maybe he's going to grab some fresh tires. Don't really want to grab fresh tires this early. At least use a set, because again, we're only limited to 4 sets in this series. You'll need them. But Daniel Cunningham still our leader. Stephen Page still second. You saw Justin Winters kind of get under attack there from Bobby Hall Jr. and Christopher McCullough. So a lot going on. You can see the front stretch, but yeah, these trucks do get very loose for the first few laps, and then if we get into a long run, I don't think it will get too long. But once you get like 40 to 50 plus laps, which again I don't know if we go that many on the fuel strategy, but say you start pushing about 45 laps, the truck starts to get a little bit loose again if you overheated that right front and it's worn down a lot. So we'll see how it ends up for these drivers. But again, it looks like Jeremiah Hobbs just got underneath Joe Zalo there and was really trying to gas it up, but when you try to turn too much and you hit the throttle too hard, the right rear just really steps out on you, and that's exactly what he did. But he did a good job. He noticed that car was going around early and locked it up. He kept it out of the field, and he kept it out of the wall. 2 things that you got to avoid most. So our drivers are going to come back here to 1 to go. At the beautiful Richmond Raceway. Y'all watch the races this weekend. This is probably your 3rd night of Richmond. Might be a little bit tired seeing it, but this track in real life seems to have a lot of long runs at it. It's very dominant bottom, but it really allows you to show off your stuff, your short track skills. That's what these drivers are doing tonight here in the Bluegrass Iracing Truck Series. But green flag's back out for Daniel Cunningham and Stephen Page. Justin Winters again with a pretty decent start. Let's see, looking from the rear end of Stephen Page here. This is what he sees behind him. Bobby Hall and Kenneth McCullough side by side. He's going to be able to clear Justin Winters. See the field roaring off of turn 4. really loose off of turn 4. That's probably another reason why we might have saw... Ooh, we got one car in the grass, I think. That was Michael Robinson. Michael Robinson goes through the grass for a quick spin, but able to keep it going. Here, Justin Winters, Bobby Hall everywhere, and there you can see the tire marks. Looks like maybe just got loose off of turn 4 unless he had some help. Went through the grass, but it looks like he'll save that machine. You see the cars all over the place. This is Chad Ross and John Mollahan, the battle for 9th right now. At 83, machine was looking for a way by, but right behind them, Sean Kaiser and Jim Kaufman battling for that 12th position, but they'll settle things out. Getting nose to tail. See our drivers going down the backstretch. Justin Winters has fallen back to P4 now, or P5 that is, and maybe looking to relinquish P6 here to Christopher McCullough. Or, yeah, Christopher McCullough. Kenneth McCullough right behind him. See those drivers really forming up on that outside right now, really trying to use it. It's never bad to run the outside, but the only problem is that you really use that right front up over time. That's the only problem with running it. And again, the bottom line is just going to be a little bit quicker, I would say. You know, that's just where the speed is. That's where the grip is. You see that yellow line that's painted on the bottom of the track. The most grip on this track is going to be about 5 inches. Oh, Sean Kaiser! He's going to keep it straight. Wow, what a save for that 24 machine. Let's go take a quick look really quickly. It looked like he might have had some help here from Jim Kaufman, and he will. Disagreeing about that position, but he saves it, keeps him going. Sean Kaiser, what a save. And again, going into turn 1, that's like what I said. You really dive it in there, try to get underneath someone. You'll just catch him at the wrong moment. Daniel Cunningham right now. Stephen Page leading this field. Peyton Hubbard, that 51 machine, he's second in points. He wants to be first. We got a caution.
Caution is out.
Not sure for who. Caution is out. And we'll really quickly put the caution out and go see if we can figure out what happened to cause this incident. So it looks like we were not. I'm waiting for race control to maybe see if we can get what happened there. Maybe a single car spin. Maybe one car had some help, just kind of like the Jim Kaufman and Sean Kaiser incident. But I'll wait for race control to see if they get back to me to see what happened there. But nevertheless, not a race-changing incident, it seems like. Daniel Cunningham has been able to lead every lap so far. But At 56, Stephen Page has been there right behind him the entire time. Look here, yeah, I don't see anything what happened, so we'll figure it out here. Our race control, but yeah, so we're 18 laps in this race, about 20 to go to the stage. Here are these guys, you don't really want to go in and take any tires just yet. Or, I mean, you can go in for fuel, but mainly, you know, save your tires until the stage break. I believe these guys are going to do. Daniel Cunningham right now first, Stephen Page second. Bobby Hall Jr. has made his way up into the top three. Peyton Hubbard up there as well. So, again, Peyton Hubbard right now second in points behind our leader, Daniel Cunningham. These two have been on a roll lately, and this week, Barrett Morton not in this race, so probably going to relinquish that third place position overall. Wes Wiggin and Alex Healy round out our top five, and Alex Healy's running a solid race right now. Alex Healy in that P7 position, or P8 at the moment. Wes Wiggin caught back in 18th right now. But you'll be watching our leaders here. Stephen Page has not been able to get the best of starts here on these last few restarts. So we'll be watching him here, and we'll see what he can do. Green flag is out. And a better start there for that 56 machine. He's going to be clear going into turn one. You can see already chaos ensuing. Here, the Truck Series Alex Healy crossover on the 03 of Kenneth McCullough. We're right here with John Mollahan and Chad Ross, Joe Zalo. Right behind them, Jim Kaufman and Sean Kaiser. We saw these two make contact a little earlier in a similar position. Probably be a little bit nicer this time. Lucas Lyons now looking to the outside of Jim Kaufman. Maybe going to try to make a pass here on that outside lane. See Jim Kaufman really trying to drive it in deep, keeping that 25 behind him, and he's just not going to be able to clear him there. Right ahead of him, Sean Kaiser throws a dive underneath John Mollahan. That's what I'm talking about. Into turn three, you really just want to throw it underneath them. But then you slide up, while in turn one, you know, there's a lot less room for error in turn one as you just kind of go straight up the track. A lot of battling going on right now. Bobby Hall Jr. was passed by Christopher McCullough, and now Kenneth McCullough Jr. looking to get past his 94 machine.
All right, man. Caution is
We got a yellow out here on track. Like it's going to be Dakota Shepard has an issue in that 101 machine. Like he has a little bit of nose damage. Let's go ahead and take a look. See if we were able to catch what happened, and it looks like we did not, just out of our render distance. But that 101 definitely has some damage. Looks like maybe he'd gotten into one of the walls, but lap 24 out of 125. More than likely won't see any drivers come in this time by. You don't want to give up that track position. Really quickly, let's take a look at our race info for today. As you can see, a pretty cool track. 81 degrees, so this track is very grippy right now. So maybe the first few laps are going to be a little bit hard on those tires. But, you know, after that, the car will probably get a little bit tighter and a little bit grippier for these guys, as it's a cool day out here in Richmond. Yesterday at the track, it was 90 degrees straight sun, and it was hot. And all the drivers together, that was hilarious to watch them all go low for the lucky dog all at the same time. But yeah, it was hot yesterday, and it's very annoying when you're at this track. As you can see up at our track map at the top right, you can really see kind of how the cars stack up here when 36 cars stack up behind one another. You know, start finish line is where the leader is, turn 4 is where the last car in line is, but that's when they're single file. These things are side by side. They really take up a lot of track. But as you make a lap, you know, if you're stuck back in traffic, you lose seconds pretty easily. You want that clean air. But nevertheless, even though the temperature is a little bit lower, you know, running about 80 degrees, it's still slick with the setup of these trucks. It is a fixed series, which means that every driver here is running the same setup. And you only have a few options. You can change your steering offset, which is basically how much angled your wheel is. So if you're a driver that likes to hold the wheel straight in the corner and you don't mind holding it to the right on the straightaways, you may click that steering offset up. And you have your brake bias. And your brake bias helps you, it really helps you depending on how much brake you like to use. The lower you go on the brake bias, the more the car will it'll come to a stop quicker. It moves the brakes, you know, a little bit further back, but it'll stop a lot, or moves it forward, but it'll stop a lot quicker. You know, you're using a lot more front brake on entry. The only problem is that if you go too low on the brake bias, then it's like you hit the brake, you kind of lock up your front tires, or those rear tires will still be, you know, revving too much, or have too many revolutions to where it makes the car kind of loop on entry. But we probably won't see that too much, especially on worn tires. But you'll see it on fresh tires. But then if you move it too much in the rear, which is moving it up, then the car will kind of sail into the corner and you won't get stopped enough. So you have to apply more pressure. The other one is then your steering, pinion, or in these cars, I believe it's steering ratio, and it basically on how much the wheel turns. So if you're running an 8-to-1, then the wheel's not going to move a lot. But if you're running a 16-to-1, the wheel's going to be closer to 90 degrees through the corners, while compared to the 8-to-1, it'd be maybe like 15. So it's mainly driver preferences that you can change. So really all these guys are driving, you know, the same setup around here. You're not going to see too much deviation from one another. It really comes down to skill. And these guys have a lot of skill out here tonight. And green flag's out. Daniel Cunningham waits late into the box, and that's going to give Peyton Hubbard a great start. F51 machine got a great start there. Stephen Page back to third, and here comes Christopher McCullough on the outside. That 04 machine is going to attack now. Well, he can't hear on the restart. Right behind him is Kenneth McCullough. The McCulloughs right now are moving up together. And oh, Stephen Page gets really tight, and he's going to put the 03 in the wall a little bit. Kenneth gets into the wall there after contact from the 56. It looked like he just kind of nudged him. Didn't hit it hard, though. Was more of a scrape than a hit. Still side by side for fourth right now. See, Stephen Page really wanted that bottom. He rolls the center so good. That's what's keeping him right now ahead of that 03. The 03 just has a really good entry, but you'll see, watch the 56 here through center. Right there, he's just able to get off the corner so good because of how his center is. One car in the wall back there. That might have been John Mollahan. But watch 56. You want to be on that bottom here in 3 and 4. And he was able to get position there. Now 56 is going to take over that position. Daniel Cunningham, our leader, but Peyton Hubbard and Christopher McCullough not too far behind. Sean Kaiser throwing it in underneath Alex Healy. We've seen Sean Kaiser really diving it in. See the entire field going into turn 1. Still side by side, 3 wide actually behind them. Looks like they're going to get that sorted out. Justin Winters falling back a little bit, lost 4 positions since the start of this race. Him and Peyton Hubbard have swapped positions from where they started. Justin Winters very smooth on the wheel. Always a good job at saving tires. Never can count him out of a race. Another guy you can never count out of a race is Alex Healy. But he's been stuck on the outside of that 24 machine. Justin Winters looks like he might have an issue had an issue getting into turn 1 there. Maybe trying to avoid. Oh, one car in the wall. That's Wes Wiggin. And he is all out of shape. He hit the wall pretty hard there, and it looked like he was really struggling to save it. But he was able to keep it straight after wiggling around. And I can see side by side. In turn 1 and 2, when you're side by side, you would really like that outside line. I know Worthington's going to get in the wall there a little bit. Right behind them, Thomas Hall, Billy Bowerman, 73 are side by side. And I think Daniel Worthington might have had an issue there. He was sideways, or someone was. And this is a recipe for disaster when you have so many cars here packed in. Dustin Reinstedel around.
All right, man. Caution is
And
out.
that is going to bring out the caution. As we saw that live. As I told you, it's a recipe for disaster. But let's see, Joe Zalo. Ooh. Joe Zalo catches him in the right rear. Dustin Reinstedel just trying to keep it off that inside wall. So let's go take a look here. See what causes this incident. Get on board here with the 60 machine. Joe Zalo. Here's Joe. So, let's see maybe a little bit of a better camera angle for this. Let's just go to cockpit here. And so right here, side by side, so Dustin Reinstedel slams the gas right here. And he's just going to slide up. But right here, Joe Zalo's back full throttle, and Reinstedel's probably still about half throttle. And see, Reinstedel just kind of comes up, and Joe Zalo's on the gas. You can call that any way you would like. That's a racing incident. Two guys going for the same position. Reinstedel comes up. Joe Zalo's still hard on the gas. But I believe that will be our stage break. Lap 40 was our stage break, so I believe this will be our stage end. And it will go to Daniel Cunningham in that 08 machine. Peyton Hubbard, who's up there in second, is going to stay out. At least it looks like Peyton is staying out. Interesting strategy there for that 51. Not sure. Unless he just came out of the pits quicker, but be able to see here on this restart. Actually, I can take a look right now. Okay, so Peyton Hubbard did pit. He was just a little bit out there already in front. He pitted on lap 38. Just like everyone else, he just caught up to the pace car. But Peyton Hubbard with a good pit stop. He's going to make his way up into first. But Daniel Cunningham, our stage winner. Extra playoff point will be very useful for the postseason. Peyton Hubbard right now is going to overtake that first place position. And you could win the stage, but not having that track position now for the start of the second and final stage is definitely going to be crucial. Peyton Hubbard's sitting in the catbird seat. But a lot of drivers have been doing a good job making their way up. One guy that I see up here, so looking at it, Peyton Hubbard had a 9-second pit stop, and the same thing with Lucas Lyons. So I'm not sure if maybe they took 2 tires. Peyton Hubbard definitely could have only taken 2 tires. He could have taken fuel only, but I really doubt he would have taken fuel only there. Because these guys might be able to make it around like 40 or so laps on fuel, so probably push 40, 45, so you know, they still have another set, but Peyton Hubbard electing to take a different strategy here. Like I said, I believe it is a 2-tire call for that 51 machine. Same thing with Lucas Lyons in the 25, so we'll watch and see how this impacts them. Again, I hope y'all are all enjoying the stream tonight. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. everyone getting in here, and the green flag is back out for our second and final stage of the night. See drivers already starting to fan out. Two wide, looking to maybe make a 3 wide pass here. Some drivers. Peyton Hubbard's gonna get that solo lead out front. Oh, we got one car around in the back. And Derek Puckett. And that car is destroyed. He hit that inside wall with that front left, and that car is destroyed now. Peyton Hubbard out front. A lot of battling going on out here. Yeah, Alex Healy, John Mollahan, Joe Zalo, and Jim Kaufman. Jim Kaufman around.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
He's going to back it into the barrier. And we saw that happen right in front of us. We'll go take a look at what happened to this 41 machine. Different angle here. So, watch what happened here. Both these drivers, maybe, I'm not sure, they didn't really get up too close. Let's see. Right there, Jim Kaufman sideways. That's what's going to cause it here. And again, remember what I said earlier, is that on the first few laps, these tires, it's very loose. That's what we saw there. And that 41 gets a little bit loose, locks it up. And, you know, luckily he's going to hit it with that left rear. Maybe a little bit of left front touch there. But if there's anywhere on the car that you want to hit it on your left rear. That is the least aerodynamically dependent part of the car. So he might be just fine here at a short track. I don't think he'll have any issues after this, but, well, I can't confirm that. It is a short track, so everyone has issues on these short tracks. But, nevertheless, it's fine right now. "46 laps through the race right now. Again, we made it past our stage break at lap 40. Drivers are making the look at the rest, or making the look. Oh my, are looking to make it the rest of the way. I got a little tongue-tied there. He probably getting the 2 to green this time by. Really quickly while we're under caution, let's go ahead and get a word from our friends over at Butt Kicker. Alright, we're back. We cannot thank our friends over at Butt Kicker enough for what they do for this league. They've done so much for us as a whole. Again, with all of our sponsors here in the Bluegrass Iracing series. Red Rocket Building and Barbecue, Butt Kicker, Bluegrass Power Washing. Make this all possible. Off of turn 4 here are the leaders and the pace car, so maybe expecting to see lights out this time by. Lights are out. We're lining up 2 by 2. 18 by 18. Rows, that is. I believe every driver that has started this race is still in. Derek Puckett may be our first driver out, as we saw him take a hard left turn into that inside wall. Pretty good, but Peyton Hubbard has that pace car right in front of him into turn 3. Listen to see when Peyton Hubbard goes here. They hit the Geico line, and he goes later in the box. See him. He's able to shift lanes already. Out in front. What it looks like to be up on the spotter stand. You can see how chaotic it is. How many trucks are side by side, letting your driver know that you are clear. Peyton Hubbard out front right now. Look at this mess right now. A lot of drivers under a blanket at the moment. Alex Healy able to see if he can get underneath Joe Zalo. Even Page is falling back a little bit. Sean Kaiser side by side. On Mollahan right behind him. That beautiful 5 machine Justin Winters is driving tonight. Wes Wiggin, Ronnie Shirk in that 12 machine. Side by side. Battle for 15th at the moment. Wes Wiggin having a little bit of an off night. He's one of those drivers that has not won yet, but is looking good on points, and gotta make sure that you keep getting those points in. Alex Healy and Joe Zalo side by side. A battle for 10th at the moment. Ahead of them, a lot of drivers right now starting to get in this single file mode. No drivers right now side by side, as you can see. A lot of the field single file. There's our first battle. Further back. That's Eric Parks and David Sheets. Battle for 12th at the moment. Eric Parks able to get underneath him, and look at there's Jonah Colbert. Oh, one truck around. He's gonna save it. Not sure who that was. It would be Ron Morris Jr. in that 76 machine. He will go around, but he'll save it. Both McCullough Motorsports teammates right now are second and third. Good. Christopher McCullough, though, up the track here. Maybe going to try out a different line. See if we get far enough into this run to maybe see if we can get some lap traffic. If he gets further enough, as Justin Winters is going to be able to get around Lucas Lyons. Justin Winters moves that 5 machine back up into 5th. He fell back to 7th early after starting 3rd. But that 5 car looks pretty good at the moment. As you can see him right on that bottom. That's exactly where the grip is on the track. And he's able to keep it down there. Watch that 5 machine. But Peyton Hubbard right now out with a pretty decent lead. Remember, he only took 2 tires, I believe. I thought there was a little bit of a different strategy, but it seems to be helping him as he just gained the track position. Ronnie Shirk and Eric Parks going side by side right behind them. Josh Clemens and Jonah Colbert. Josh Clemens had some very solid weeks at the road courses. He's going to back up those performances. Oh, Wes Wiggin. Sideways. And he'll be able to save it. That 88 machine is dead sideways. By him. Oh, man. Michael Robinson, Cody Anderson, they were 3 wide going into turn 1. It's not what you exactly want. Is again Chad Ross and Wes Wiggin. Man, Wes Wiggins taking a few hits. I believe that Chad Ross and Bobby All Jr. both had issues on pit road, which forced them in the back of the field. And you see Chad Ross really just trying to bump that 88 up the track. He's going to give him a bump back, and oh, Thomas Hall, save it. Thomas Hall in that 93 machine makes a great save. Bobby All Jr. sends that into the corner, and now Wes Wiggin under attack. Michael Robinson up front. All Peyton Hubbard right now. Here comes Daniel Cunningham. Daniel Cunningham trying to make his way back up into the top 3. Right behind him is F5 machine of Justin Winters. Battle for third right now, heating up. Two are side by side, and you want to be on the bottom here, though, and we'll probably see he's going to get a really good center, but that exit's all in that 04. Christopher McCullough has a really good exit there. Daniel Cunningham's going to dive it into turn 1. Gonna slide up a little bit. Good center for that 08. Again, but Kenneth McCullough able to just keep it to his outside, but I think Daniel Cunningham might be able to get him right here. And no. Christopher McCullough hanging strong on that outside. Sean Kaiser joins the picture. You see Justin Winters. He's telling Daniel to go. He wants him to get past that 04 machine. He just can't get by him, but he will that time. That 04 kind of washed up. Like Daniel might have had a little bit of a braking issue there. More of just kind of getting in there a little bit more than he wanted to. And see now, Justin Winters able to try to get this position as well. Justin Winters will do that. F5 machine is looking quick in this later half of the race. Another driver that's looking quick is Sean Kaiser. Sean Kaiser able to get past Christopher McCullough as Christopher's starting to struggle a little bit. Alex Healy having a pretty solid race, has ran top 10 the entire time. Lucas Lyons on a little bit of a different strategy. Might have taken 2 tires the last time by ahead of him. But there's John Mollahan. John Mollahan all over the back bumper. Gonna look low, and man, he sent it in there. And that's the issue with turn 3 and 4. It's turn 1, you'll kind of go straight into the driver, but in turn 3, you slide up into it. Just how the corner is, and you see Peyton Hubbard. If you look at our track map right now, you can see where the drivers are. Peyton Hubbard highlighted in green and first at the start-finish line. Gap between him and Kenneth McCullough right now, 1.3 seconds. About another second and a half back to Daniel Cunningham. Oh, Alex Healy into the wall. 97 machine tags the outside wall. Able to still to go strong outside of that 2 machine, though. John Mollahan and Alex Healy side by side down the front stretch. Right behind them, Stephen Page. Stephen looked really good early in this race and has kind of struggled. One way to see how drivers have used up their tires is looking how much grip they have on the bottom of the track. You can see John Mollahan, he just can't quite get down to the bottom like he wants to. And so that shows me that 02 machine has already used up a little bit of right front tire. There he's able to hold it pretty good, though. But Alex Healy's giving him no room. See, Alex Healy really wants it. But at this point early in this run, how much do you push here to try to gain this position? Justin Winters, Sean Kaiser. These guys have not been able to really make any ground on our leader. Peyton Hubbard's really just got out front and has just been able to stay out there. Has a 1.4 second lead right now on Kenneth McCullough Jr. and he's got about 3 seconds back to Daniel Cunningham in that 08 machine. John Mollahan and Alex Healy are still side by side. No! Maybe a little bit of contact there off of turn 2, but Alex Healy was like, I'm done. I was on that outside way too long. Single file they go. Looks like Billy Bowerman's in to make a pit stop here. Michael Cole. Battling with Dakota Shepard right now. Carlton Charles. It's David Brackett. They're side by side. Right ahead of them, Jim Kaufman, Thomas Hall are side by side. There's the 23 of Carlton Charles right behind them. Worthington right up ahead. Kenneth McCullough Jr. just kind of on his own playing field at the moment. And lap traffic is starting to come up for these guys now. 74, Casey Ryback. The bottom of the track there. Peyton Hubbard also had to get around the 13 of Brian Terry. And again, if you look up on our track map, you can kind of see where the lap traffic is clustered, and Peyton Hubbard has a pretty good group ahead of him. Group of cars, that is. Right behind these guys, Alex Healy right now battling now under Lucas Lyons. Battle for 7th place. Now Alex Healy's on the opposite end of where he was. Last run he was on the top. This run he's going to be here on the bottom. Really helped that machine. See, kind of single file for the most part. Hoffman maybe going to try to look around here at Daniel Worthington. Oh, we got a car around. I think it was Ronnie Shirk. It was Ronnie Shirk. On lap 80 here out of 125. Let's go take a look. Happen here, and oh, he gets loose, and Jonah Colbert just gets into him there. I think that 12 machine just got loose. This is what I was saying earlier again too, is that these cars tend to get loose a little bit later in the runs, especially when you start to use that outside line. Like Jonah Colbert gonna get into him there after he gets loose, and watch this from Jonah Colbert's point of view right here. So there's Ronnie Shirk to his outside. Ronnie gets to the gas, is trying to turn down the track. And I don't see any original contact here, and this is where he'll get loose. He starts going up the track, and you can see Jonah Colbert's also fighting the wheel. Right there, he gets sideways, and yeah, just, oof. You see Jonah, he tried to turn left there. It looked like, he had the wheel pointed left and just not able to really do anything when you're on the throttle going up the track. So, unfortunate there for that 12 machine, as Ronnie Shirk was having a good race, and right here we see most of the field go ahead and come in and pit. Take their tires. Hubbard, the first one. Able to watch the race off of pit road here. Look for that purple and black 51. There he is, and he is off and out way before really anybody else at the moment. And kind of a curved pit road. You see the 03 get out. There goes the 08, the 5, 04, 24, 97, 25, 02, 56, 83. Drivers go ahead and get lined up here, as that was our 6th caution of the night. Our 5th incident related. Jonah Colbert getting into the back of Ronnie Shirk Jr. This is where things get interesting, is that I'm not sure if you can make it all the way on fuel, but I would say that at least now that these guys will probably be pretty close to making it on fuel. So we'll see what strategies evolve from this caution here. Again, I hope everyone is enjoying the stream tonight. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Really thank all of y'all for coming out here, watching your favorite drivers tonight. I'm sure they love your support. And like we're still going to be here about 2 to green now. Few drivers a lap down, but if you're these guys, last time you go in and pit, you take 4 tires, and you can go out, whatever. But Peyton Hubbard took 2 tires again. I mean, unless it's wrong, it shows his pit time was at 9:47, and he came out significantly quicker than everyone else, just like he did last run. I'm wondering if that 51 machine took 2 tires again. Might have to ask him and see. But Peyton Hubbard out front. And it could just be a glitch through the system. Might be saying what's not happening, but you never know. You may just like it with those tires. Well, you can catch this broadcast racing in official races here every once in a while. And who knows, I might pop in for a Bluegrass Iracing Cup Series race, which takes place on Wednesday nights here on the channels. Just keep your eyes peeled. But back to this race, Peyton Hubbard with a great start again. 51 has been very good on restarts. Oh, Sean Kaiser!
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is
Oh, man. Oh! And they're still wrecking behind him. The 14 goes into the wall. 41 had contact. And that is our first wreck that we've had on a restart. Sean Kaiser goes around. Looked like he had contact from behind. And yeah, so that's going to be Alex Healy. Watch what happens here. So Sean Kaiser's going to drive it into the corner. And right there you see Alex Healy and John Mollahan. Alex Healy just gets in really hot there. And it's just going to tag him. And then around he goes in front of the field. Looks like everyone else behind him. And right there just overcorrects it into the wall. Michael Robinson, big hit there. Probably be the end of that 24 car's night. As you can see too, that front bumper hanging off, and with the new damage model, wrecks like this will hurt you more than ever. And like, his night is more than likely done. But take a look here for Michael Robinson. Things happen so fast. And going into the corner here, you see incident right there. He's going to try to throw to the outside, and yep, car wreck. And you can see him try to swerve it, try to lose speed, and just not able to do so. Then a few other cars kind of got tangled up behind him trying to avoid him. But yeah, we'll see who gets the EOL there, see if that goes to Alex Healy or not, because Alex Healy's 3 wide. And I think Alex Healy's main goal there is, to beat the cars that he's around. And so he might have just not expected the 24 might have, Sean Kaiser probably just checked up for the drivers in front of him. He was just trying to stay behind him, and Alex Healy just maybe wasn't anticipating it. But nevertheless, the 97 got into the back of him there and turned him around. Again, you don't really know. Really, only the driver knows what happened. But for us, it looked like the 97 just overdrove turn 1 and got into the left rear corner. And that's also another thing that I kind of mentioned earlier. In turn 3, you slide up into the driver, but in turn 1, you just go straight if you overshoot that corner. And that's what happened there. A little more bacon in 1 and 2, and 97 just went straight. And then, the 24 was just kind of checking up for the drivers ahead of him, and right here, that 97 going to the apron. Going to take that drive of shame to the back of the field as he will get charged with the EOL there. Unfortunate for Alex. He was having a pretty decent race. Fortunate for Sean Kaiser as well, as he looked bad fast. And you can see he's still trying to get that car stitched up. He wants to finish this race. Yeah, Peyton Hubbard, our leader. Kenneth McCullough Jr. second. Dan Cunningham third. Christopher McCullough fourth. John Mollahan fifth tonight. Justin Winter sixth. Lucas Lyons 7th. Chad Ross 8th. Stephen Page 9th. And David Sheets up into the top 10 tonight. David's having a great run. Up 13 positions, that is, too. Few drivers have made a lot of gains tonight. Jonah Colbert up 25 positions. Josh Clemens up 17 into that 12th position. 18 into 12th position. Eric Parks had a good night. Up 20 positions into 15th right now. Like the lights are off on the pace car. See all the drivers stacking up, and we'll try this one more time. In less than 30 laps to go. Theoretically, these drivers can make it all the way now. Shouldn't have to make another stop, but we'll watch and see what happens here.
Green flag, green flag.
Flags out. 51 has a good start. 5 backed up there. It's Justin Winters. Looked like he had not have a good start. He's going to be put 3 wide now, but he's able to be able to clear that 3 wide. And right behind them, they're going to go 3 wide. Battle's going to be on for second. That third, Christopher McCullough, Daniel Cunningham side by side. You can see Justin Winters trying to throw it underneath Chad Ross, keeping that track position, not able to do it. You hear Eric Parks, Josh Clemens side by side.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Got a yellow. Thomas Hall. Thomas Hall may have had an issue here. 93 is going pretty quick. Take a look at what happened here, if we can. It may be a little bit too far back in the field, but oh, right there. It's like something going on. Green. 41 was in it as well. It was right there. Oh, there was the 91 actually. 7 also in. Well. Back in right there. There's the 41 around. Maybe, oh, right here. Okay, so it starts with Jim Kaufman. He's going to get loose underneath Jeremy Vaughn. Maybe a little bit of a touch. Hackett's going to get involved, and the car is going to hit. That was Thomas Hall going to hit him from the bottom, and then he's going to slide up the track. Bring out that yellow. This is where we start to get to the point of the race where drivers are going to make desperate moves for desperate measures. And I hope that y'all have enjoyed the broadcast tonight. Make sure that y'all are rooting for your favorite drivers. I promise you, as a driver, we always check to make sure that our friends, family, comments on the live chat. Peyton Hubbard, our leader. Kenneth McCullough Jr. second. Page has made his way back into the top 10. Colbert, we saw how good he was in the Truck Series last year. He's trying to make his way back up front, as right now he sits in that 11th position. And at this point, it really looks like, you know, drivers are starting to make really aggressive moves, and I believe that's how it's going to be for the rest of this race. You know, we may not get another long run. It may just be kind of on and off of these cautions. Drivers are trying to get as much as they can. They're on a little bit slicker tires. Again, earlier in this race, you know, earlier in these runs, the cars are loose. That's just how they are. We could take a look really quickly at our weather here. You know, 78 degrees. Track temp is, or 79 degrees, that is. So, I mean, the track is grippy, but still, even with a lot of grip in these tires, still get super loose. So I say we go on board with going for this restart. Let's go on board here with Bobby Hall Jr. Let's just look how chaotic the start's going to be. As you can see, he's going to be on that inside line, starting P15 in row 8. And this will really give you a good vantage point of, you know, how hard it is to pass here. You know, you want to make a move, you want to go underneath another driver, but you just can't. I mean, it's all about throttle and brake control, especially that brake control. And Peyton Hubbard's going to hit that green flag. Green flag's back out. See Bobby Hall not with a great start, but pretty cautious here. Because you could definitely make this time back up on the entry corner. You can see Josh Clemens running that outside line, so he elects to look low here underneath Josh Clemens. Can't go full throttle through here. You're back full throttle. 130 plus miles an hour into turn 3. You got to brake. Get it down low, and that's a really good line for Bobby Hall Jr. Nice and easy, and he's going to give that outside line a lot of room. Thanks for Bobby Hall there for letting us use that. It was pretty fun to watch from his vantage point. Look at him now. He's sideways. He got loose off of turn 2. And look at what's going on ahead of these guys. Justin Winters, Chad Ross side by side. Last run, it was the opposite of this. Justin Winters was stuck on that inside. Got a yellow. Looks like Eric Parks is around. And it looks like there's a lot of drivers around. It's David Brackett. I don't know if I maybe saw Wes Wiggin in that. And, well, here's the wreck. And it actually just happened with Bobby Hall. So let's see. Here coming off the corner. Oh, Eric Parks gets loose and just overcorrects it. Hate that for them, man, because you just know where to go. And then after the wreck, you see Brian Terry. Oh, man. It was a big hit for David Brackett in that 38 machine. He hit hard. Maybe see if we can take a look at that one more time. And again, you can't really see what happens here. You know, caution's out. These guys are really trying to avoid it. Bang! And that 74th, Casey Ryback had nowhere to go. There was a white car that I saw, and you see Brian Terry also involved. You drivers taking some pretty big hits there. Peyton Hubbard, though, still out front. 23 laps to go, and like I said, this is where a lot of drivers are starting to get desperate. And thanks for everyone for coming out tonight in the Bluegrass Iracing Truck Series. Week 8 for us. Really quickly while we're going around to look at our points. Here you see Daniel Cunningham again top of the leaderboard. Peyton Hubbard's second right now, but Cunningham behind Peyton Hubbard on track. Bear Morton, Wes Wiggin, Alex Healy, Holohan, Chad Ross, Jeremy Vaughn, Bobby Hall Jr., Christopher McCullough, Michael Robinson, David Sheets, Lucas Lyons, Daniel Worthington, Cody Anderson. All of our drivers right now that are in the playoffs if they started today, but they do not start today. We'll have a while for that to come by, but 21 laps to go here, and if you're Peyton Hubbard right now, I mean, you're sitting very good with these restarts. One to go this time by 4. our leaders. Peyton Hubbard out front, Kenneth McCullough Jr. and Christopher McCullough Jr. Or Christopher McCullough, that is, not Jr. Daniel Cunningham, John Mollahan. Justin Winter starting 6th here on this restart. $20 laps to go here at Richmond. These drivers, one of the McCulloughs here is just going to have to try to time the start perfect. A lot of times as a driver, you just wait for the driver to make their move. You really want to try to beat Peyton Hubbard, you got to try to beat him here on the restart. At least get side by side, and you can see, I mean, Peyton Hubbard gets such a good run, and oh, Christopher McCullough goes wide. Kenneth is going to do a crossover there, and that's going to put Kenneth McCullough Jr. in that 2nd position. Peyton Hubbard take over out front, and you can see a hornet's nest back here. Justin Winters on that outside. Oh my goodness, Joe Zalo shot in that corner like a cannon, and you can see everyone back there is now bumping bumpers. One car around. That's Ron Morris Jr. in the 76. Caution free though. No caution out for that. It looks like Ron's going to be able to keep it going straight somewhat. Justin Winters is now going to look here underneath Daniel Cunningham. And man, Justin threw that in there. And he's able to get so much grip in the center of the corner. That 5 machine has been so good on the bottom of the track. And look at that. Just what a great entry. But off of exit, that outside is going to prevail. That 5 machine's looking quick here. Justin Winters. It's a good enough entry here. He will be solo 5th, and he will. Winters now up a little bit, but Peyton Hubbard still out front right now, has a half a second lead. One car into the grass. It looked like it was Bobby Hall Jr., and it was. Bobby Hall Jr. with some issues here late into the race. 15 laps to go. John Mollahan and Christopher McCullough Jr. right now. Maybe looking to make a battle here for this 3rd position. You see John Mollahan much quicker right now than that 04 machine. He's going to be able to get by him, and here comes Justin Winters. Justin Winters is going to maybe try to make a move in that 04. He's going to be able to get a run here, and he is going to push John Mollahan down the front stretch. Mollahan now into that 3rd place position. 4/10 separates Peyton Hubbard and Christopher McCullough. Justin Winters in the wall. It still does not stop him from making speed down the back straightaway. Maybe trying to take a look as we got a wreck, and that's Carlton Charles. 23 machine. Goes around here. I believe this is turn 3. And oh, man. So let's see what happens here. Wes Wiggin gets into the corners. And oh, he gets right hooked up into him. Ooh, that's a big hit on that driver's side door. I'm not 100% sure what happened to Wes Wiggin here. Let's take a look here. It looked like he just got loose. Watch the wheel here. So getting off the corner. So right here, he's going to try to make it through one. And right here, look, the gap closes. So he's going to bounce off of Jeremy Vaughn. That's what causes this car to get sideways. He bounced off of Jeremy Vaughn into Carlton Charles. Back into Jeremy Vaughn. See from there, he's going to get turned up into Carlton Charles. And well, that brings out the 10th caution tonight. A lot of cautions, but 12 laps to go. Peyton Hubbard's still your leader. If you're Peyton Hubbard, you want the restarts. I mean, he has 2 tires, but I don't think he's in any danger. His restarts have just been so solid. So I actually got to chat with a few drivers this week. And one of the drivers that I got to ask a question to, because I think he's top 5 this year in passes on restarts, is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And I asked him, what is his plans on restarts? And he basically just said that whenever he goes, he always changes lanes. Like you can watch him. He always tries to peek and he always tries to make a move, or at least make something of a move. You know, while he's going into the corner, because he said that restarts are valuable and they're the easiest way to pick up a majority or at like a major positions. You know, early into runs, because you know once you have all even tires, pick up 3 to 4 positions, then you can start to get into your long run kind of coasting speed and settle in from there. That's what he said his strategy was. I thought it was very interesting, and Peyton Hubbard tonight has really just done such a great job on the restart. You can see that he gets out to a 3-car length gap before every single time he gets into turn 1. I mean, if you're John Mollahan, Kenneth McCullough Jr. here, you've got to try something different on the restarts. There's a difference between jumping the restart and getting a good restart. Jumping the restart is nailing the throttle and passing, but if you can time the restart just right, kind of play mind games here with Peyton Hubbard, figure out what he's going to do. Maybe last time he ran a little bit early in the box, so maybe look to see if he goes a little bit later in the box this time. But you got to get on that throttle before that 51 machine if you're John Mollahan here. And remember, that outside car cannot pass the leader. He's got to go when the leader goes. So really out there, kind of just in, you kind of guess. I mean, just kind of stab the throttle a few times and then see if it's the right time to go. I mean, it's so hard just to get a good restart here, but Peyton Hubbard on the backstretch. Lights are out here at Richmond. Track temp going down a little bit, down to 78 degrees still. Partly cloudy here in Richmond. It's beautiful, but see what happens here. As you can see, he stacks up the field, goes late in the box. But again, a pretty decent start, because again, these guys were kind of expecting that. A little bit later in the box, and now John Mollahan's going to have to see what he could do to get beside that 03 machine. He's not going to be able to get just by him yet. Side by side for second, and that's what Peyton Hubbard needs. And Hubbard's going to win this race if these two stay side by side here. Kenneth McCullough Jr. and John Mollahan right now battling for second. Justin Winters looking underneath that 04 machine here for that 4th position, but that outside's prevailing at the moment. And Justin Winters a little out of shape there, but they're able to figure out their differences here for second. Can Kenneth McCullough Jr. push one last time to catch that 51 machine? And, looking at Peyton Hubbard's line right now, he's running the fast line. He's definitely hot lapping. He's trying to get the quickest laps out of his car as he can. He's running a little bit wider in entry, which allows him to get a little bit of a better arc in the corner. And so if you're Kenneth McCullough Jr. here, you have to figure out what's better than that. And we got another car around. That's Jeremiah Hobbs. And this is the big one at Richmond. Holy parking lot. Not 100% sure what happened here. Yeah, oh, right there. Lucas Lyons. Let's see what happens here. So, Lucas Lyons, yeah, just going to get in the left rear. And right there, look at that. David Cheech, Jeremiah Hobbs, Joe Zallo, Alex Healy hard into the wall. And, yeah, I mean, there's just nowhere to go once the track gets blocked. All those guys stacked up. Zallo, Alex Healy, the 12's going to get involved, and see them wrecking everywhere. And man, Sean Kaiser came flying through. Travis Twitty also going to get involved in this incident. You see right there, the 14's getting in the back of him. There goes Brian Terry, David Brackett, Bobby Hall Jr., Thomas Hall. Take a look at this from Sean Kaiser. You can find that 24. Here he is. Let's go take a look here from this cockpit. This has to be pretty insane. He's got a lot of damage on this car. So do the cars around him. But you can see Bobby Hall Jr. looking underneath them. And unfortunately, we don't get to see all of it, but we do get to see that. And Sean Kaiser is probably like, how did I miss that? 11th caution of the night. We saw that last restart there. Peyton Hubbard did not get as good as a jump as he probably wanted. But we're going to get a green-white checkered here. And really, if you're Peyton Hubbard, you just got to do the same thing and just hope those two behind you battle. If you're John Mollahan and Kenneth McCullough, I mean, you've got to get single file if you want a shot at the 51 car. But, I mean, you can't just give up a position. So, again, it's all about this restart. John Mollahan's going to have to do the best he can to get a little bit of a better restart. If we remember last run, or last restart, Peyton Hubbard went very late in the box. We'll see if maybe he does a similar move here. And if you're John Mollahan here, you've got to hit the throttle early in the box and just hope that he goes. If not, you check up the field and you get an EOL. That's just how it works sometimes, you know. If you want to win this race, you got to do something different. You got to do something risky. See what happens here. Two to go to green here, but 3 laps to go in the race. We are definitely going to be getting a green-white checkered to end off this race. And what a race it's been. A lot of action going on tonight. A lot of battles going on throughout the field. Again, make sure that y'all hit that thumbs up button. Whether you are in Facebook or YouTube. See, probably pace car is going to be turning his lights off this time by. Goes Peyton Hubbard, Kenneth McCullough, John Mollahan. Pace lights are off. Anyone can still win this race. See how fast that 5 machine has been. Justin Winters. He's been on that bottom. It's probably been the smoothest truck on the bottom tonight. One mistake. Does he have a chance? Christopher McCullough. Saw the shot there in 4th. Stephen Page, who ran great at the beginning of this race. Still up in 6th, but here it goes. You see, he goes late in the box again. John Mollahan with a nose here. John Mollahan's going to be able to get 2nd here, I think. Oh, look at Kenneth. Kenneth threw that car in there. What a move from that 03 machine. Oh, wow. Kenneth McCullough Jr. and Travis Twitty's around. And caution's out. Like Travis Twitty might have just got loose there on the track, on the top of the track. Unless that 29 machine went right around. We should have gotten it, yeah, and it looks like he just gets up the track here, tries to turn it back down with throttle, and never works, and he gets pancaked there from someone. 29 goes around, and we're going to redo it all over again. We have 3 green-white checkers, I believe, unless we have 1, and that might have been the end of the race. Not 100% sure, but they were coming to the white flag there, so let's see if this ends the race or not. Looks like drivers are staying lined up. 3 laps to go there as we see, so I believe we're going to round them out one more time here. Really quickly, just because we have time, I'm going to go back here. I want to take a look at that restart. Because the move that Kenneth McCullough made on that outside was insane, and I have no idea how he made that truck stick. I'll watch it here. Let's see a little bit of help from his teammate there. And look, right there, he's on his right rear, and he just throws it in there and gets it to stick. Great move for that 03 machine. You know, if you're John Mollahan, though, I mean, you got to be a little bit more aggressive, I think. I think you really just got to throw it underneath. But nevertheless, you've got to make it to the end of this race. And, John Mollahan, pretty good on points right now. He's probably more worried about, getting a great finish in this race. Hope you all have enjoyed this race here at Richmond. See, it's a packed house tonight. Pretty cool night here, too. Track is kept a little bit cooler for us. Has produced some pretty good racing tonight. Cars are getting ready to get lined up, so maybe 2 to go this time. All Peyton Hubbard wants is that white flag to come out as quick as he can. And you gotta go 1 lap around and that white flag comes out. So he's thinking, man, please just stop wrecking in the back. Last few wrecks, were caused around like 13th, and that last one was probably around the 20th position or so. So Peyton Hubbard, Kenneth McCullough Jr. 2nd, John Mollahan 3rd, Christopher McCullough 4th, Justin Winters 5th, Stephen Page 6th, Daniel Cunningham, Jonah Colbert, Josh Clemens, Chad Ross. Well, let's tighten our seatbelts one more time. Field lining up here. See what Peyton Hubbard does a little bit differently here. Goes a little bit earlier in the box. Good start for John Mollahan. That was a good start. We'll see what happens here. This might be John Mollahan's best chance. He's going to look a little bit high here. He's going to try to get the run here off the corner. Not going to be able to do anything. If you're going to make a move, you do it now. John Mollahan is going to enter a little bit higher. Peyton Hubbard just so good through center of the corner. That white flag is out. He has a car length lead now over John Mollahan. John Mollahan, that 2 machine is not won yet this season. Pretty good run in turn 1 and 2. Will John Mollahan give him a shot here? He's not going to be close enough. Peyton Hubbard off turn 4 is going to win at Richmond. And they're wrecking off of checkered flag there. That's the 88 around. I saw the 12 around as well. But Peyton Hubbard, that 51 machine is going to pick up the win tonight. That is win number 2, I believe, for Peyton. He won last week at Chicago. That was his first win here in the Truck Series. This season, at least. And that's win number 3 for him. So, yeah, because he won at Bristol Dirt as well. So this is a 3-peat for Peyton Hubbard. 3 in a row. Took Bristol Dirt, Chicago Street Course, and now takes Richmond. Run for that 90 or 51 machine, that is. He's doing some burnouts. And while he's doing burnouts, we will go ahead and get our race. See Peyton Hubbard taking home the win tonight. John Mollahan 2nd. Kenneth McCullough Jr. is going to finish 3rd. Christopher McCullough Jr. 4th. Justin Winters 5th. Stephen Page 6th. Daniel Cunningham 7th. Josh Clemens 8th. Jonah Colbert 9th. Chad Ross 10th. Dustin Reinsettle is going to finish 11th tonight. Daniel Worthington 12th. Wes Wiggin 13th. Ronnie Shirk 14th. Sean Kaiser 15th. 16th is going to go to Jeremy Vaughn. 17th is going to go to Bobby Hall Jr. And 18th is going to go to Joe Zalo. But further into the field, David Sheets going to finish 19th tonight. Eric Park's going to finish 20th. Jeremiah Hobbs 21st. Bentley McFarlane 22nd. Thomas Hall is going to finish 23rd tonight. Carlton Charles going to finish 24th. Ryan Terry 25th. Alex Healy 26th. Casey Ryback 27th with Michael Cole. Going a little bit down here, Alex Healy's going to finish 28th. Casey Ryback's actually going to finish 29th. So Michael Cole 27th, Alex Healy 28th. Casey Ryback 29th. Lucas Lyons 30th. Michael Robinson 31st. Travis Twitty 33rd. Ron Morse Jr. 30th. Hoffman 35th. Cody Anderson 6th. Willie Bowerman 37th. Last place finisher is going to be Dirk Puckett. He's going to finish 38th. So we are going to go ahead and round thing off tonight with some interviews. So we will be right back in a second. All right, we are back to go ahead and get our top 3 finishers in here tonight. First one's going to be Kenneth McCullough. Hey, Kenneth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Well, pretty solid finish. We saw you up there. You know, you had a few chances and stabs at maybe trying to get that victory, but we saw you side by side with John Mollahan and just not able to get it there at the end. But overall, pretty solid finish. We'll get you some pretty good points as you move up a little bit, I believe, in the point standings. But you do also have a win in the bag, so you're pretty good with that. Tell us about your race here at Richmond tonight.
Man, it went a lot better than I thought it was going to go. Hell of a job from Peyton there. And congratulations to him on the win. Yeah, we got teammates second, third, and fourth. Pretty good night. I think the other teammate down there was like 19th. The race was good overall. I felt like I had a little something there for Peyton. He was killing me on the restarts. But, man, overall, awesome race.
What different do you think you could have done tonight to maybe try to snag that victory? Or do you think that Peyton just kind of had it all night once he got to the...
I needed to restart behind him where I could get a better restart. I wouldn't have bumped him and moved him or nothing, but I think I had a little bit better pace there because I think he took 2 tires twice when I've took 4 the whole time.
Yep, so moving on next week to Iowa, 150 laps at Iowa next week. What do you have to do next week? At least finishing top 3 tonight. I bet it carries a lot of momentum into next week. But you seem to be accustomed to finishing in the top 5 usually. So, what do you got to do next week? Carrying this momentum on.
Just trying to have clean runs, man. First part of the season there, first 3 or 4 races, strategy didn't work out and had some bad finishes, but it's all seemed to be turning around. I'd rather it be good at the second half of the season than the first half, I guess.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on your 3rd place finish tonight. And if you have anyone you'd like to thank, go ahead.
Yeah, thank Bluegrass for putting this thing on. Thank you for doing the broadcast, man. And got to thank the McCullough Motorsports teammates and all the family tuning in to watch.
All right. We'll see you next week at Iowa.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
That was Kenneth McCullough Jr., our 3rd place finisher tonight. Very solid run for him. Go ahead and get John Mollahan up into the booth. Hey, John, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, you were positioned there right behind Peyton Hubbard. Looked like you might have had a shot to get him, but he was able just to get out about a car length ahead of you, and you just were not able to get to his bumper. But nevertheless, tell us about your race tonight.
Man, those restarts at the end were kind of tricky. The team and I were primarily focused on having an exceptional points night, which we had lined up for the biggest part of all evening. Was really fortunate there on that very last restart. I was able to kind of nail it with him there, Peyton, and take off with him. But I never had anything for him, and I never wanted to jeopardize that podium finish. So I was happy with second tonight.
Gotcha. So I kind of had said that. I was like, he looks pretty calm being there, in second and third. He's not really pushing the issues. So I kind of tell that you were being a little bit easy there, but nevertheless, still second place points finish. And, I believe you also got some stage points tonight. So all of that overall is going to help you. Is right now you are sixth in the points. And I believe with Barrett Morton not showing up tonight, may move you up another position, especially too over Wes Wiggin and Alex Healy, who are right in front of you. So, I mean, did you have anything for Peyton this entire race? I mean, I know he kind of got up there and he started to sail away, but it looked like that 51 machine only took 2 tires. So, do you think you could have done anything different tonight?
I don't think so. We were talking about Peyton there all evening in our private Discord. He never took lefts all night, so we kept thinking he would be a little weaker and weaker and weaker, and he never really fell off. But I didn't have anything for him again. I was content with being up there. I kind of felt like I was a top 10 car. I never would have imagined second tonight, so I'm pretty ecstatic.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on your second place finish tonight. If you have anyone you'd like to thank, family, sponsors, teammates, friends, the floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, Jason and the fellows over at Bluegrass for putting on the show tonight. You up in the booth doing a phenomenal job. All the guys over at McCullough Motorsports had an incredible run all evening. Really looking forward to Iowa next week. Both my boys, Jackson and Carter, my old lady Brittany, all the guys over at Will Jewelry and Loan, Kanawha Valley Key and Fob. We'll see you next week.
All right. Congratulations. We'll see you at Iowa.
Thank you, sir.
That was John Mollahan, who finished second tonight, had a very good run overall, and he now probably move up a little bit in the points. He had a good night. So let's go grab our winner, Peyton Hubbard. Hey, Peyton, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, I believe this is the third week in a row. I think I saw you after Bristol Dirt, the Chicago Street Course, and now Richmond. 3 pretty diverse tracks, but nevertheless, you still got the job done. Tell us about how you won this thing tonight.
This is one of the times I've been able to actually put in some laps on the track. I ran an official and opened a couple sessions for the truck series throughout the week, and it was just kind of getting a feel for it. So, but today the track temp was pretty good. So once I was able to get out front, this is like a right sides only type track. Like that first run, our left sides were still at 99%, so I just took right sides every single pit, and that just gave me the pit position. After I'd taken the lead, that's how I was able to leapfrog Cunningham after the stage.
Gotcha. And I mean, nevertheless, you brought up a really good point. This is one of the few times where the official week matches up with the league week, so you definitely do get more practice. And again, it looked pretty risky taking that 2-tire stop. I saw you get out very quickly, and I thought you had stayed out. And I looked, and you had 9-second pit stops for both the times that you pitted. So 2 tires definitely worked out in your favor tonight. Next week, we got Iowa, and I know that you're probably going to be pretty pumped for that. So, what do you got to do to win next week to make it a 4-peat?
I don't think I've ran Iowa yet, so it'll be one of the first times I've actually run that track. But I'll see if I can get some laps in during the week and, maybe do the same thing I did and open up a few sessions and, maybe run with some of the NLR guys and see what we can do. But, we're definitely aiming for that 4th one.
All right, buddy. Well, if you have any family, friends, teammates, sponsors you would like to thank, you go ahead.
Yeah, man, all the guys at NLR, CFM, Spy, Smith & Company Custom Homes, and I'd like to thank my girlfriend again for sitting through this entire race again, especially with all those cautions at the end. So thanks to everybody.
All right, well, we'll see you next week at Iowa.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that was Peyton Hubbard, and he was able to get the job done tonight, ends up getting the win out here at Richmond Speedway. I want to thank everyone for coming out here again tonight, staying through the interviews. Thanks for watching tonight's race. We had a good time here in the Bluegrass Iracing series. Really quickly before tonight ends, we want to again thank our main sponsors for the series: Red Rocket Building and Barbecue, Butt Kicker, and Bluegrass Power Washing. Again, thanks to all of our sponsors that make this possible. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, making this possible. Hope that y'all got to see your favorite drivers come out here and race very competitively and hard. We had a good time tonight watching the race. So yeah, don't forget to tune in tomorrow night. We'll be back here at Richmond for the Bluegrass Iracing Xfinity Series on YouTube and Facebook. Make sure that y'all come in and tune in for those races. And then we also have the Bluegrass Cup Series at Richmond this week. That'll be Wednesday night with Steve McMillan. So make sure that y'all catch in for that race, or tune in for that race, that is. We'll be here all week for the Bluegrass Iracing Series. And make sure that y'all come in for that. And we will see y'all next week at Iowa for the Truck Series.